Welcome to the RJI Futures Lab, where we help you make your organization more innovative. I'm Ruben Stern. This week, options and challenges for virtual reality storytelling and ideas for delivering news on the Apple Watch. At least 4 different places online let you post and share interactive virtual reality content. The Futures Lab's Andrew Hebert takes a look at the platforms and what it takes to put stories into them.
Media platforms like YouTube, Shrimp Eyes, VR Radio, and Little Star all have the capability to play VR video. All 4 platforms allow users to navigate by clicking and dragging the mouse across the screen, but YouTube, VR Radio, and Little Star are better suited for Google Cardboard than Shrimp Eyes. Little Star is the best platform because it uses compelling sound to enhance the 360 experience. One example is Riot's story on solitary confinement found on Little Star.
Welcome to solitary confinement. This is at most an 8x10 cement box, and this is where you'll be living for 23 hours a day.
But by far the biggest problem right now is how difficult it is to produce content for VR. Sarah Hill, a pioneer in the field and owner of StoryUp VR, explains the complexity of making virtual reality videos.
We use a half a dozen different software programs. After we shoot it, we have to put it through a litany of those software programs, and then we add metadata to it and export it into the Sphere.
Another challenge to VR is the amount of space the large files take up.
One of the issues with VR that is hard right now is that you're dealing with really large files, and not all of your computer systems, like your regular video editors, like your Avid or your Final Cut, are used to editing 4K video.
The cost of all the programs and gear is pricey too. GoPro's new 16-camera rig used in Google Jump VR costs $15,000, and numerous software programs to run it add even more money into the equation. For the Futures Lab, this is Andrew Hebert.
Creating VR material raises other challenges. For example, it's hard for a reporter to get out of the shot when the cameras are pointed in all directions. It's also tough to position audio so that a viewer can properly associate a sound with its source when moving through an immersive landscape. Several news organizations have expanded their mobile presence to include apps for the Apple Watch. Among them is Breaking News, which sends batches of quick story snippets tailored for each user to include things happening nearby. We sat down with the app's co-founder to learn more about delivering news to someone's wrist.
Geolocation is one feature of the Apple Watch that attracts news organizations as it provides the ability to localize content, something Breaking News has been working to improve.
So many apps have geo aspects to it, so I think that for me, I think the geo piece is the biggest. I mean, for us, the ideal scenario is if news is breaking near you, you can go and see it on your watch and see what it is. If not, you could tip us from it.
With the recent operating system update, the Apple Watch's microphone is now more compatible with more apps.
Evernote is a great example of being able to leave notes to yourself using voice, and there's just that's just going to go on and on and on. Of course, then there's health and motion type of applications as well. But I think for news, I think geo and voice are 2 big pieces.
Another important upgrade that comes with the second operating system update is speed, something users were critical of when the watch was first released.
As technology has shown us, it's all going to get faster. So I think at this point, it's a learning environment, understanding that it's not going to be a big audience. But when the speed gets there, then you've kind of figured out and cracked what your successful thing is going to be.
Experimentation is key.
Being forced to be simple on the watch forced us to try something new in a very simple way. And if you're not wearing it and you're not trying it, then you don't really understand the use case.
While wearables and the Apple Watch are still catching on, Bergman is confident the audience will soon be present.
I don't think everyone's going to have a watch. But I think at some point, we're going to cross the threshold. Then that's going to be a big enough user base where we have to pay attention. Is it going to be as big a user base as everyone with phones? I don't think so.
Bergman believes the watch is not yet ready for video, but it's the next step. He says video will have to be extremely relevant and targeted to be consumed as a notification. For the Futures Lab, this is Adam Pressler.
The Breaking News app also experimented with a tap-to-tip feature. This allows users who see news happening to send their location to the newsroom. Editors can then use the location and other social media tools to check it out. And that's it for this report from the RJI Futures Lab. I'm Ruben Stern. We'll see you in the future.